Hi everybody, this video is a review for the Lady Jane overbust corset finished in silk brocade, and this is made by Bad Attitude Boutique. So here's the front, the side, the back, and the other side. The height of this corset in the center front is 13.5 inches, and then from the peak of the bust down to the bottom is 15.5 inches. In terms of the actual silhouette, I would consider this a gentle hourglass shape. I find that the hips are comfortable enough on me. The rib cage is a little bit on the small side. On my body, you might find it a little bit different. In terms of the bust, I really like how it actually cups the bust. It curves over top of it, simply not just, lifting it up from underneath and then just letting it hang there. I like the security of the actual cupped part of the pattern. In terms of the feel and the shape of this overall, I find it extremely similar to the Tempest overbust corset by What Katie Did. So I don't know if this same pattern was used in both those corsets or if it's simply coincidence or if one was fashioned after the other. Not really sure. The only difference being, of course, that on this corset there are no hip ties, and in the Tempest overbust there are. So if you are looking for something in a similar cut to the Tempest overbust but in a different sort of fabric, or if you want to omit the hip ties, then this would be a good alternative for you. So here's the corset laying flat, and I have no idea what's going on with the camera right now because it's not showing the color accurately at all. If you look on the website, it's a more accurate color to this. It's sort of a turquoise color with the gold flowers. But anyways, I feel 3 layers in here for materials. The outer layer is this silk brocade, and I believe that it is floating. And then on the inside here, if I can just loosen the laces a little bit, there is a layer of twill as interlining and another layer of black twill here as the lining. For the construction of this corset, there are 7 panels on each side. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. However, the first panel by the Busk and the last panel by the Grommets, they're rectangular. They don't actually have any curve. So technically speaking, this pattern could have been made with 5 panels instead of 7. For the actual assembly, the top layer here has been assembled with a top stitch. However, there are no visible boning channels in here. Like I said before, I can actually pick it up and move it away from the lining fabric. So I feel that it is a floating fashion layer, which is interesting because it doesn't really wrinkle that much when on the body. And then here, if I pinch the corset, I can feel that there are 2 strong layers as the interlining and the lining, and you can see that the boning channels are visible on the inside, double boned on each seam. And I actually had to open it up to look, but there is a waist tape in this corset, stitched invisibly between the lining and the interlining of the corset, made from 1 inch wide black Grogan ribbon. Here's a close-up of the binding. It's made from bias strips of matching silk brocade fabric that's neatly machine stitched on both the outside and on the inside here. There are also 4 garter tabs in this corset, 2 on each side, and you can see them right there. They're very tiny. In the back here, you can see that there is a Modesty panel. It's 6.5 inches wide, about 5 inches of usable space when you take into account that last bit of the panel there. It's sewn to one side, and I believe that it's sewn right into the corset, so you cannot remove it without compromising the stitching in that last panel right there. It's unboned, made from matching brocade on the outside and twill on the inside. As well, there is a matching Modesty placket here in the front, also unstiffened, finished in the same brocade. The busk itself is 10 inches long with 5 pins here. It starts about there, and then the rest of it is flexible with these grommets right there. When I looked at it initially, I thought it was 1 inch wide just because I was looking at the distance from the seam to the edge here. However, when I bend it back, I realized that it is a standard 1/2 inch busk right there, and it gives enough sturdiness here. Turning it to the inside here so you can actually see the boning channels, there are 20 bones total in this corset, 10 on each side. The ones by the grommets here, sandwiching the grommets, those are flat steel bones. The other ones are spirals, and for the most part they are double boned on the seams, so you can see here 2, 4, 6. The one on the the curve of the bust there, that's singular, and then there's another singular one right next to the busk here at the front. Here's a close-up of the grommets. There are 20 of them finished in silver. They're two-part, size 0 grommets with a large lip around them. They hold very well. I don't feel any risk whatsoever of them coming out at all. And here's the underside, and you can see that the washes they had used are also quite large. There are no splits on the underside either, so I'm quite impressed with the quality of the grommets that they had used. And the 6 grommets at the bust line here, these are actually different. They are still size 0, however, they don't have a very large lip around them. It's quite small actually. They don't hold very much tension though, so there's no real risk of them coming out. And the laces at the back here is a sort of fat braided nylon cord. It's very strong, very difficult to break. When I received it in the mail, it was actually fraying a little bit in places. You can see that there are some loops coming out here. So it's not the most pristine. However, it doesn't really affect their strength at all. And then on the laces in the front here, these are actually like a round nylon cord, also very strong. However, I just kept these laces on the corset for the review's sake, just to show you what came with the corset. However, I am going to replace this with a matching ribbon later on, just so everything looks a little bit more congruent. The price for this corset on the Bad Attitude Boutique website is currently $309 US. However, at the time that I got this, it was on sale. It was on a closeout, basically 50% off on their Etsy shop, which I don't know if it's still running. It may have been shut down since then. However, with my order, I got a 15% off coupon, which I cannot use because it's only good in the actual store in Las Vegas. So if any of you are actually living in Nevada or close by and you would like me to mail you this because I have no use for it, then just leave me a comment below. And now for the bust test. This corset passes the bust test with flying colors in all 4 areas due to the cup actually curving over the breast here. So it doesn't really matter what orientation you are in respect to gravity. I feel that this is going to keep you safely inside. And this concludes the review for the Lady Jane overbust corset made by Bad Attitude Boutique. If you liked this and if you learned something new, then please click the like button, help support the channel. Any comments or questions, leave them down below, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.